Hi, and welcome back to Fit, Fed, Feeling Good. I am Meg, your host, and this is the podcast where we talk all things fitness, food, and feeling good. Happy Wednesday. I am so happy to have you along for this conversation. Today, we have a feeling good episode. So I wanted to start off with a little good news, bad news. And I sometimes alternate if I'm giving that scenario to choose from, but today I'm going to give you the bad news first. The bad news is sometimes we don't always feel great. But the good news is a lot of times we can make a choice to choose to be feeling good or to be in a good mood whenever maybe we're holding an unnecessary grudge or a little bit of some negative feelings. And sometimes you're just plain old grouchy and you don't want to feel good. But what I was thinking about was the thought that comparison is the thief of joy. And why was I thinking about that? Because I've sometimes gotten myself down because if I hear that there are tickets to this amazing live concert event and there's a big percentage of me that says, I really should be feeling more excited about this or want to be excited. But then I think, but really on my priority list of joyful things that I love, it's kind of down there. And that made me think you can't compare yourself to others. So I was having a conversation with a friend and I said, if you had a set number of dollars, or let's just give it maybe not even the dollar idea, maybe tokens, and you could spend them on a service for yourself. Maybe someone can come in and organize or clean for you. Or you could go to that live concert event. Or you could purchase something that you've been wanting. Or you can buy the best night's sleep. And we were having a really great conversation about this because I said, I think if I was to put those in order, I would love the service first. And my friend I was talking to, they said, wow, I think I would really want to get maybe that new work bag I've always wanted or something really lovely for myself. But they were also very excited about the outings and the events. And I was then saying, I think that would probably be at the bottom. I actually joked that my tokens would probably go first into some sort of savings account if I could, but I can be like that too. Well, as we were talking about that, then I heard a podcast that I regularly listen to, Kathleen of the Reframe. Kathleen is joyful and she always has such a fun, positive way to look at life. And she has really great tips on using points and how she is going about a certain ways in her life and her use less attitude. You know, she just has all these awesome goals for herself. And she recently had an episode where she was saying how things that she enjoys spending, I'll use that token again, tokens of life on, and then things that she doesn't really spend tokens on. And I thought, oh my gosh, I was just having this conversation with my friend about this joy in our life. And I think we get hard on ourselves because we think, well, I should want to do that. I should want to enjoy that. I should want to have energy to go do all of these things. But I really do think it's personal and what you enjoy is what you enjoy. But we can, when we do that comparison piece, it is a thief of joy. It really is. And we get down on ourselves or sad where we could just say, you know what, that's not for me. or you go along because it's something your friend really enjoys and you enjoy it because it makes them so happy. So there are a lot of different ways that we can look about this. And it made me think of a few other ideas that can compare to comparison is the thief of joy. Sometimes when we want to be so perfect in something, it steals away our progress. If we think there's a number we want to hit on the scale, or if we're using fitness as an analogy, there is a weight we want to lift, well, maybe we are not enjoying those small little moments of progress that we really are achieving. And that is so great. We should stop and enjoy that. Or what about when we are worriers? Well, if you are a worrier or if you worry, sometimes that worry will consume your day and that day zips by and you look back and think, I don't even know what happened in my day because you're worried about what's going to happen tomorrow. So worry can really borrow the joy of today. So just something to think about there. And then sometimes this was a big one. I do go to church regularly, and I remember this was years ago. One of the biggest messages for one of our Sundays was high expectations lead to disappointment. And isn't that so true? Just in daily life, when we have unrealistic expectations of something, it really can steal just the peace and gratitude of that circumstance. We have standards and we can miss the beauty of what's in front of us right at that moment. Our gratitude grows when we appreciate what we have instead of dwelling on what we think we're missing. So I just thought that that was a little bit of an interesting take about the good and bad of feeling good, that we can make those decisions for ourselves, do what we enjoy, but also occasionally do something for someone else because they enjoy it so much, and that brings us joy. Isn't that so true when you see someone just so excited about something? It just makes you smile on the inside and hopefully on the out. But then when we compare ourselves to, it really can be a thief of joy. And then I thought about those other few ideas behind that as well. And it's so interesting to talk to other people to say, if I gave you this certain amount of something, what would you do with it first? Or what would you do with it last? Or put them in order? Because it's really an interesting experiment to talk to neighbors, families, friends, acquaintances, coworkers, whatever it is. And you get a really good sense of who they are, what they enjoy, and what they like to do with their time, and what makes them ultimately feel good. And that's what I want this podcast to be about, is being fit, being fed, and feeling good. So take that for however it landed with you. And I just really appreciate you tuning in. I will be interested in what music gets in front of this and behind this episode. So if you've listened this long, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope your week is leaving you fit, fed, feeling good. And I will tell you what my little fed was just today that was so delicious. I took a grocery store cheese bagel, toasted half of it, and I put just a little smear of cream cheese on, a big slice of homegrown ripe tomato, couple cranks of salt, and then that Trader Joe's crunchy chili oil, and a little drizzle of honey. And okay, my mouth is already watering again. It was so delicious. So that was my little fit, fed, feeling good moment for me for today. And thanks again for tuning in. We'll see you next Wednesday. And remember, this is entertainment only. I am not a doctor. Always consult a medical professional for any needs you may have. Thank you.